The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. Guys, this is the eve of my 13th anniversary of hosting Topic Time. It is unbelievable, but 13 years ago tomorrow, I said my first 13 words on my first show on August 18th of 2010. I said, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Topic Time. This is a new show of miscellaneous topics, and look how far we've come. And today I have a double Zoom interview to LA with a couple of guys in the film industry. One is in voiceover, the other one is in acting. We'll talk all about that and talk to them in a minute. But before we get to them, we've got to read these incredible underwriters. We got a few tonight, and then we will commence per usual. So we have Lynch's Towing Auto Cycle and Truck Center in Brockton. One number for towing, one number for projects. Always in search of new scrap metal, wheels, anything my pal Lynchy there in Brockton can handle. He does it all. We have Rodney's Kitchen in Halifax. We have Fadeologist 101 Barbershop in Brockton. We have Crazy Axe's Rec Center in Hanover. We have New England Floorscapes in Middleborough. We have Sure Shine Professional Detailing and Hand Wash in Abington, always looking for new talent. We have Eli's Auto Care in Taunton. We have Carver Jewelers in Carver, Ronald R. and Lily Delano Goldsmiths. We have 111 Tattoo Collective in Brockton. We have Carver Vape and Smoke in Carver. We have Autotown Auto Glass and Auto Body in Abington. We have the Cornerstone Barbershop in Pembroke. We have Genuine's Inspection in Middleborough. We have Pembroke Radiator in Pembroke. We have Hanover House of Pizza in Hanover. They make great Sicilian pizza, Greek salads, have awesome staff members and deliver. We have A1's Tire and Auto Center in Brockton, always in search of new service writers and techs, and even if you don't know how to do it, send someone by that does. We have Pal's Driving School in Middleborough, setting up classes for December. Check the website, they're filling up fast. We have Bulldog Sports Cards in Middleborough. We have Dave's Automotive, good old Dave's Automotive in Hanson on Route 58. We got Dockside Customs Tattoo and Body Piercings in Middleborough. We got Kingston Auto Body in Kingston. We got One Good Credit in Brockton. We have Salon Giovanni in Marshfield. We have Bryant's Auto and Tire Service in Middleborough. We have the Gunrunner LLC, the Second Amendment Freedom Store in Middleborough. We have the Auto Shop in Hanover, thanks Ed Rooney. We have Hairway to Heaven Family Salon in Norwell. We have Doggy Boutique, all-breed professional grooming for dogs and cats, run by my great next-door neighbor, Debbie Siddell in Brockton. We have Grant's Rental in Bridgewater. We have Easton Fitness in the Village Shops in Northeastern. We have DNS Auto Works and Collision Specialists in Abington, also on Route 58. We have Countertops Express in North Attleboro, experts in the installation and removal of quartz and granite. We got RW Carpet and Flooring in Norton, covering floors for 50 years. And we have Joe's Diner in Taunton. I want to thank all you guys so much on my lucky 13th eve of my lucky 13th anniversary of hosting the show. And now I will introduce these two gentlemen. We have Richard Scott on the lower middle there, and we have Ian Coleman on the upper left, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you guys, Richard Scott, you set the interview up. You contacted me to do the show. So let's talk to you first. Tell me about yourself. In about a paragraph. Tell me, or not a paragraph. Well, a little spoken paragraph. Tell me what you do, and then we'll break it down further, and then we'll talk to Ian up there. So go ahead.
Acting and a lot of screenwriting. I have 5 scripts for feature-length presentations that we are in the process of moving to production. So that's something that I'm very passionate about. And I enjoy the acting as well. And that's just kind of a sideline, but I would say the script writing is my main profession.
Okay, now you're talking about film, like major films for like 20th Century Fox and the big boys, or what? I mean, if not, that's
20th Century Fox.
Even though we're in the 21st century.
It's really, I mean, some of them, like one script that we're working on currently, it will probably be a streaming movie, but then we have some that would be feature film that would appear in the theater. So.
Okay, are you employed by any of these? See, I'm not sure how the film industry works on a large scale. I know how it works on a small scale because I've been doing my show. I've interviewed a lot of independent filmmakers, and I've been cast in some, and I've actually also been in a couple of big productions too. Like I was in Shutter Island and Amistad all the way. That's 26 years ago. So, how are you affiliated with any of those companies, or if not, that's fine. I'm just trying to find out, how far you've gone with it. Do you have people? You've written these scripts. Do you have actors available already, or are
I
you?
do have some actors available, yes.
Okay.
But yeah, with the scripts, it goes through a lot of stages of investment, and
Yes.
then we have our own production company that we team up with um, hopefully one of the major film companies that's here in Hollywood, and you partner up and you go through, as I said, it's several stages, but we're not actually employed with them,
Okay.
but you partner with them.
I understand. All right, Ian, tell me a little about yourself. You do voiceovers, and whatever else. And you guys, tell me how you guys are interacting in the film industry also. But first, sum up what you do first, and then we're going to get to how you guys work together. So go ahead.
So yeah, I do acting and voice acting. I mean, I do on camera as well as the voice acting. I do more for commercial, industrial, e-learning. I did a few audiobooks years ago, trying to really break my way into, film and TV animation, that kind of thing. But still working my way through the rest of the bread and butter first.
Okay.
And acting, I have a short film I was in back in 2021 that we filmed during the pandemic that has gone on to win a bunch of awards and stuff. So, some things are progressing nicely. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. How did you guys become a team? How did that happen? Obviously, you guys worked together. You arranged the interview. And Richard, you told me that Ian was out of the country when you gave me his number last week. Where were you last week? Were you in Europe? Where were
I
you?
was in Portugal with my sisters.
There
Yeah.
you go. That's Europe. Okay. All right. Well, tell me how you guys interact in the industry. How does that? Why don't you guys like take turns telling me, and then we'll piece it together. So.
Both of us had really different talents that we could bring into um, our production company.
Okay.
Um,
Now you
Ian,
guys both, excuse me, one question. You guys both own the production company together, is that it?
yes, we
Yeah.
do.
All right, what's it called?
Endless Imagination Productions.
Gotcha. Okay, swell. All right. And how did you guys meet up to form this company?
We were
We met
both in
through
the
Facebook
industry.
quite a while ago and just kind of connected. We lived near each other, had a lot in common, and
Okay.
became good friends. And from there, just built everything. So
Okay. And about how long ago did you found the company? How many years ago? Well,
a
if
year ago.
1 year.
A year
Okay.
ago.
So it's
Yeah.
still kind of in its infancy now. Okay.
Very much. Yeah.
Okay. Are both you guys from LA, or did you move out there from somewhere else?
I'm from New England. I grew up in Vermont. I've been out
Okay.
here about 8 years now.
Okay, I love Vermont. It's one of my favorite go-to states. I'm still in New England, as you can see. And what about you, Richard?
I have lived all over the country, and I've been out here about 4.5 years.
Okay, all right. Okay. So now currently are you working on anything like where you come in every day and I mean let me see if I can figure this out. So Ian, you've done commercials like on TV out there for national commercials and things like that.
No nationals yet. No, I'm still working my way up through things. It, I mean, I've done a few local commercials out here on camera. Otherwise, I've done voiceover for some web commercials.
Okay, all right, hold up. Tell me
Different
about
things.
those. Who have you done voiceover commercials for? What celebs?
Um, I mean, the main one was for this product called Hero Wipes. That's a thing for firefighters.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I would have thought it was toilet tape paper, but even better. Okay.
Well, there's all sorts of these products out there, but yeah, that's what they were selling. It was supposed to, be good for helping them clean up after a fire and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, I guess. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, Richard, tell me about some of the acting roles you've had, if you would.
Mostly short films. In almost everything, I'm either I'm some form of law enforcement, either a Texas Ranger or a detective or a police officer.
Okay, so you always play a good guy, right? Or is that not true?
Um, They seem to like the way I interrogate people, so I guess you can take that every way you want to.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're a good guy. You're a good guy with a grudge to bear if necessary. But I understand. Oh yeah, I understand. Like the Rockford Files, kind of like the late Jim Garner and that kind of deal. I get it. Um,
I
okay.
I enjoy playing law enforcement, um, but I would like to try my hand at something a little darker sometime.
Darker, you mean more horrific? You mean without? You mean like
Well, I'd
you
like to
want to
be
be
a
you want to be a
gangster.
bad guy, right? Is that it?
I would.
Okay. Now that you guys have your own film company, you can go where you can take that to any way you want to the next level, can't you? You can figure out the way you can write yourself in as a bad guy into your next production. Can't that work, or will that eventually?
Sometimes
Okay.
it just depends. Um,
So
the production company has a lot to do with the casting.
yep, I understand. So is the current film actors and writers strike affecting you guys at all in any way?
It is in some ways. I mean, it's mostly for acting, covering the film and TV theatrical stuff.
Yeah.
So that does affect our films right now. We can't really do a lot to push them forward. I mean, there are some things. A lot of independent productions are getting going. So if we get the right things going, we still can, since we're more of in the independent production space right now.
Okay.
Otherwise, as far as auditions and things, there's still plenty of stuff coming in that isn't covered.
Okay.
So there's still a good bit of work going on that isn't covered by the strike, but it's definitely slowing things down out here and putting a lot of people into a place where they're unsure about, you know, where they want to put their money and time right now.
Yeah, I understand, and from what I understand too, is it's that a lot of the a good, and I didn't know this until the media broke it open with the story, but a good portion of the actors that do these that are on strike or that are forced to walk the picket line are the ones that are being screwed by it in a bad way. Are the ones that really don't make a lot of money doing it. They're not the Leonardo DiCaprios or the
Right.
former John Waynes of the industry, I guess. So, but I also,
That's true.
but I can't help but wonder too, could that lift, give you a window of opportunity to create more stuff where other things are not being created? And when there's a void because of the strike, is that possible too or not?
It definitely gives an opportunity. I mean, it's mostly the independent productions that are getting made right now. So it
Right.
does give somewhat of an opportunity, but we want to stay in compliance with SAG and with the Writers Guild. So we want to make sure that we, are following their rules. And that's where a lot of these independent productions are getting off
Okay.
the ground, is that they are agreeing to what SAG is fighting for, saying we will pay the residuals you're asking for. So as long as we pay that and as long as we find the money to do it, then we can get a project off the ground and get it approved. But
I understand. Are you guys both members of the Writers Guild and SAG as well?
not yet.
No, you're
Not
not.
not
Okay.
SAG.
Okay.
The scripts that I've written are with the WGA,
Oh,
so
what's the WGA? I should know, but
the Writers Guild.
oh, Writers Guild. Oh, of course. Okay, I understand. All right. Yeah. So neither of you guys are on the picket line at all, or any they're doing scabbing or any of that stuff, right?
I'm planning to go out. I haven't had a chance yet because I was in and out of town for a little bit, but I'm planning to go out and join the picket lines. So I
Okay.
will be out there soon.
That trip to Portugal that had nothing to do with films. That was just a family thing, right?
That was just a family thing, yeah.
Okay, all right, all right. Now, what I like to do with every guest is I like to profile you. Go back to your history of going back to your childhoods and find out how it got you to where you're at. So, Richard, tell me about you. Where did you grow up, and what did you do as a kid that got you to that's and we'll sort of piece it together to figure out how it got you to where you're at now. So, tell me a little about that, if you would.
Um, well, I lost my biological parents when I was young, and
Okay.
so
Oh,
my grandparents adopted me,
yep.
and I
Okay.
called them mom and dad. They were my mom and dad, and but I lost my wife and family sometime back, a few years back.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's just me.
Yep.
But yeah, I've grown up all over the country, and in school I was in a few theatrical productions, a few local TV commercials, and then I got married and
Yeah,
had
I
to take care of
understand.
family and everything.
Did you go to college for any of, did you go to, when you say you were involved in theatricals in school, do you mean like the high school years or was it beyond high school?
High school and college, I did take theater,
Okay.
but that was not my major.
Okay.
But
Well, what was your major and what college did you go to?
Auburn,
Auburn,
Auburn
oh, in
University.
Alabama?
I had a scholarship, so that sent me to Auburn.
Wow. Yeah, you sort of, now that I listen to you talk, your voice, your dialect sounds a little, down in, Southie. So what did you get a scholarship for?
Drafting,
Oh, okay, not,
architecture.
okay, architecture. All right, now Ian, now you say you grew up in Vermont. Were you a dairy farmer or children of a dairy farmer or what?
Close, not exactly. So I grew up on a small school called the Mountain School, which is owned
Okay,
by Milton Academy in Massachusetts. It's a small semester school that had a farm, and
okay.
my parents ran the farm. So I
I,
did kind of grow up as a farm kid. So they were farmers and teachers there,
yeah, okay.
and yeah, organic farming. That's what they both did, and
Yeah,
my
yeah.
father just
Okay.
did a lot of that.
All right. So what now? You guys didn't know each other till you met in L.A., met out there in Hollywood, right?
Right.
Right.
Okay. And so now, right now, you're each at a different location in Hollywood. Now, Ian, it looks like you're in a studio of some kind, are you?
This is my voiceover booth where I spend a
Oh,
lot of my time. So yeah, it's also the best spot I have for doing this kind of thing. So
I understand. Do you ever do voiceovers for animated stuff, like Seth MacFarlane's shows or
I
anything?
do auditions and stuff. I mean, I did a video game a few years ago called Dynasty Warriors 9 that I got to do, but still trying to break more into the animation and stuff as well soon. So
Okay.
hopefully,
So,
yeah,
now,
audition a lot, audition a lot.
I understand. Now, what about the possibility of you creating your own animated series? Would you ever? Is that possible? Do you have any ability to illustrate or know anybody that does that might be able to you could coagulate with and do that or collaborate with?
I'd have to find some people that can illustrate. I love doing some graphic design here and there, but I can't draw at all.
I
So,
understand.
I mean, I used to sketch a bit when I was a kid, and as long as I'm sketching something I'm looking at, it comes out mostly okay. But
All right.
freeform drawing, I am not able to do.
I understand. Okay. Now, where are you now? Now, Richard, are you in a studio? It looks. I mean, it looks like you're in a comfortable chair, but behind you, I see a white wall. Is that your house, or you would work, or
I
what?
am actually in my office at work.
Oh yeah, because you told me when we set the interview up that you were going to take some time off to do it. Now what do you do? Is that part of the industry, or is this something else that you do for work?
Um, no, I am an aerospace recruiter.
Oh yes, you told me that. Okay. Now how is it that if you're an aerospace recruiter that you're not in Houston, or I mean, but you explain that.
Actually, there's a lot of aerospace here in the LA area.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's why we asked these questions. Awesome. Okay. Does that include anything that's currently in projects work right now, like the space station, or any of the shooting people off into space like they did with William Shatner about 2 years ago for real for the first time, even though he played Spock back in Star Trek 50 something years ago? I mean, is that
Some of our parts, they do make it into space projects. Really, I mean, you can trace a lot of what's here. Boeing aircraft and everything originated with the, Hughes aircraft from Howard Hughes, who
Oh
was
yeah,
based
Howard Hughes,
here
of
in the
course.
LA area. And
Okay.
so there's a lot of aerospace here in the area. And of course, we also work with the government here where I'm at. So
Okay, so are you considered a member of the military or semi-member of the military?
I'm an independent contractor, so I don't actually work for this company, but I work within this company.
Okay, wow, that sounds fascinating. But certainly, it would certainly be over my head. No pun intended. Aerospace, get it? Yeah, I couldn't resist that one. All right. Okay, now, Ian, do you have any special skills that you work on besides acting and doing whatever else you do there? And
Um, so I mean, talking about background, I went to University of Vermont and
okay,
I studied computer science there. So I worked in IT for a long, long time. So I still
okay,
do a bit of that on the side
yeah,
as
I
well
see.
as doing acting and voiceover.
What town is it? I should know what town that is. Is that Middlebury?
That's Burlington.
Burlington, gotcha. Okay, the capital. Oh no, the capital is
Capital's Montpelier.
Montpelier. Yep,
Yeah,
yep, yep.
yeah.
Caught myself. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I
good.
actually I actually did a show in Burlington. I actually used to do remote shows on the road, and I interviewed a young lady in Burlington 11 years ago this month on August 4th of 2012. And the show didn't come out because the VCR and the camera was screwed up, and I didn't. It could have come out, but anyway, yeah. So okay, that's interesting. Burlington is a heck of a town. It's always
Beautiful area, yeah.
yeah. There's some characters up there. I remember as I was driving up, some woman who looked about in her late 20s. She was on a skateboard and she jumped into the air and hollered a war whoop and looked like she was going to land on a car coming at her at a red light. And I have to admit, I was quite taken aback by seeing that, but I enjoyed stuff like that. Okay, so what is your now in addition to your work schedule? How do you plan your film and acting schedule through the weeks now? I mean, you do this every day. I assume you have projects going on currently that you're going to be working on. Well, we're at the end of the week now, but later this month, is that true?
Right. Yeah, I mean, as it goes, I mean, there's a lot that comes in day to day with the auditions and things like that, but otherwise, there's always a lot of practice to keep on top of for voice and for acting. And I also have been working on turning this book of my grandmother's about her time as a judge into a screenplay.
Oh, wow. Your grandmother was a judge, huh?
She was a judge in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah, that's fascinating. So you basically look for actors to play that. Did she write that book? Was that her autobiography about her being a judge?
Yeah, it's her autobiography. I mean, she dealt with a lot of corruption in the courts when she was there, and so it's her story of sticking it out, and eventually the corrupt judges going down at the end. You know. Similar to mafiosos, not always for exactly what they did to her, but for something. So,
is she still with you?
She passed away a couple of years ago.
Oh, she did. Wow, that's
end of 2018.
Oh, okay, 2018. Wow, that's fascinating. I never really, I've been watching. It's interesting you should bring that up because I've been watching a lot of court TV lately, and I see a lot of the real life, trials that go on all over the country. And it's amazing how some of those judges look like they could be doing anything but judging. I remember, they have scenes where they have defendants screaming obscenities at the judge, and the judge just sort of like shakes. They have some pretty looking judges too, female judges I've seen. I was watching it last night, and I'm like, wow, what's going on here? Is this for real? But I guess it is. One of the guys that hosts that show, Garrett Edwards or something. I think that's his name. He's a correspondent for one of the major networks. So. It must be real. It's on A&E, I figure. And I don't know if your grandmother had to deal with stuff like that. I assume, being a judge can't be easy, especially in a state that I believe has the death penalty, right? Did she take on some real tough cases like that?
I mean, her main passion was the estate courts, but she got pushed out of that due to some of the corruption. So she mostly worked in the family court.
Oh, okay.
So she got to avoid a lot of that. But one of her favorite stories was when a guy came into the courtroom with a shotgun, leaned it against the wall in the back of the courtroom and went to sit down. And the bailiff, who she was very good friends with, turned to her and said, "Don't worry, Judge, if he shoots you, I'll shoot him."
Wow. Didn't the security guy take the gun? Didn't he use the frick?
I'm guessing back in those days,
yeah.
It was okay. I mean, gun laws and things, but I don't know. That was her dark sense of humor there, or something that she just loved his comment. But
well, I can't wait to see that film when it's out. All right, so Richard, so what exactly now? Right now, those scripts. Now? Obviously, Ian auditions people. I guess you do too, right? You both do it. You both have a location where you audition people for your films. Is that right?
After they get to the point of casting and everything, then we'll start auditioning.
I know, but what do people submit their resumes online for you to select to talk to them? Is that it?
We've done a few auditions in the past, mostly out of people we know, although we did receive a few other submissions from other people that heard about the projects and stuff, but we haven't quite gotten to putting it out on a mass casting site or anything like that, or through casting directors yet. But
okay, but when you finally do audition people, now you have a location. What's the name of the studio again? I forgot. Evan's Source?
Endless Imagination.
Endless Imagination. So you have a location for that studio, right? Or is that it right there where you're at, Ian?
No, we don't have a physical location for it. We're more building this up, and
okay, I understand.
Depending upon the project, it's gonna get filmed on location in various different places. So for the most part, we'll rent a sound stage when we need one, but for the most part, it'll probably be filmed on location in different places. So
Okay, I understand. So have you guys ever done anything else in entertainment? Have you ever done any music? Have you ever played sports in any capacity, stuff like that? Like stand-up comedy, something, anything like that. Something that's, sort of in the realm of what you do, but a little not the same. You know what I'm saying?
just a lot of theater and musicals in the past. Never really was a huge one for sports, and
Okay, you both
haven't
you
tried
both look
stand-up
very.
comedy yet. I thought about it.
Oh, you guys both look athletic. When you say musicals, I mean, have you ever sung in a musical or before been in one like that, or had people or
I have, yeah, I have. I did Jesus Christ Superstar. I did Fiddler on the Roof. I did Sweeney Todd.
classics? All of them, yeah.
Yeah.
And what about you, Richard?
I was in Anti-Mame, if you've ever heard of that.
Heard of what?
Anti-Mame.
Oh,
Um,
okay. I don't know.
that
I
was
don't. What is
that was
that?
based off of a movie that is from the late '50s with Rosalind Russell,
Okay.
and it's more of a comedy, and so I had a part in that. I loved it, but live theater is not really for me.
I understand. It wasn't for me. I had my moments at camp in live theater about 53 years ago. Well, gentlemen, guess what? We're down to the final 5 minutes of the show. I hope you had fun talking to me. I hope I tried to. It was a fun challenge talking to each of you guys and trying to get as much profiling done of both of you as I can simultaneously without moderating the discussion, without making sure trying to make sure no one overlaps, not one of you guys overlaps the other one. And I think I did an okay job, but I hope you agree with that.
I think so.
I hope you guys are still going to be friends afterwards without saying, don't, why did you have to hog the discussion? I don't think either of you did. And that's swell. So what I want each of you to do, like I said at the beginning, is just look at your unit there, give shouts out to a few people that are going to see the show, and then we'll wrap it up with my music and snapping like we began it. So go ahead. Why don't you start, Richard, since you're the one that I initially booked, and then Ian, you go next.
Just want to say a great shout out to all my friends here in the industry that are local, that are also very good friends of mine, and let's all stay working.
Okay. All right. And Ian, you?
And definitely a shout out to all my friends in the industry, as well as my agents who do a lot for me, and also my sisters Clara and Melissa, and my father and my stepmother Elliot and Barbara. Hopefully they are able to watch this and
Oh, they will
everybody
be.
enjoys it.
Well, believe me, once it's up on YouTube, we'll send it to aerospace and back. It'll be
Perfect.
no limit, guaranteed. All right. Well, if you had fun with me, which I was hoping you did, if there's anybody in the acting industry, anybody anywhere that you think has an interesting story, you both have my digits now. Have them text me. We'll get them on the show either in person or by Zoom. Whatever works for anybody, and that'll be great. And I hope that we can make that happen. I'm getting you guys kind of from word of mouth, and I'm hope I can get more from word of mouth from you guys.
Of course.
Okay. All right. I have one last favor to ask. Once we wrap the show up, you stick around and let my tech guy take a pic of you guys, and I'll tag you on Facebook, and we'll share it.
Sounds good.
You guys, all right. All right. All right. We're gonna wrap the show up. Happy 18th. Happy 13th. Lucky 13th anniversary. The topic time tomorrow, and next week will be another 14th year. So signing off. See you next month. Next week, I should say. And here we go.